Is this the Rookie CEO podcast?
Yeah, I think we're in the right place.
Oh, Hev, it's recording. This is Fuzz.
And I'm Heath, and you're listening to the Rookie CEO podcast. So today we have the lovely Jenny Williams, who is from, it's Jenny Williams Consulting, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
We're not related. Although we do have both dark hair, so we could be, who knows?
Yeah.
That's not how you relate people, just because otherwise I'm related to every bored guy there is.
So Jenny, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do. Obviously I've known you quite a little while now, so yes, for the listeners, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Yes, so I have Jenny Williams Consulting, and that is a life and business coaching offering for people to find calm through the chaos. So what I've learned from being an MD back in my 30s and losing my identity after having kind of a child, I realised that actually there's a lot more that we can do within ourselves to become better business people, become better people, and also to help more people find that path instead of getting into the burnout stage and get into a stage where you feel overwhelmed and losing your identity, and helping them, guide them down that route to not get to that stage, if that makes sense. So what I've learned, I want to give to others and share with others and help them find their kind of calm, because there is so much chaos going on around us, not just in our own life, in our own business, but in the news, in the world around us, in other people that we kind of have in our environment. So I want to teach and show people how to find calm in the chaos, long and short.
And I think you definitely do that, because I know even from the first time I met you, I talked to you and your energy instantly just makes me feel calmer. I don't know if it's the way you talk or what, but I instantly go, okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's good to know, because that's what I want to portray. But I think that's because I kind of embody what I want other people to feel. I want people to feel calm around me, because I want to show them that you don't have to be chaotic all the time, and you don't have to be stressed and aggy and annoyed with stuff. Like, that energy is just all negative energy, whereas there's always going to be shit going on. There's always going to be stuff that's going to be frustrating, but actually the way we approach it and the way we deal with it doesn't have to be the way that we think we should be dealing with it, if that makes sense. So,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That leads us nicely onto the actual episode of the title, which is how to stay calm.
Yes.
So what I would love to have the listeners take away are some amazing tips on how they can stay calm in the chaos, I guess.
Yeah.
Even where they're at this point, which I find myself in this point every day, where I've lost all control.
Yeah.
I don't know where I am. Yes, it's all written down. Yes, I've got processes in place.
Yeah.
But I'm just overwhelmed with where I'm at in business, not in just life, maybe just life.
Yeah. And I think the most important thing as a tool is to actually step away from it, which is almost the hardest thing for a business owner, or in personal things. You kind of go, you just need to step away from it and look at it from a bird's eye perspective. I think a lot of the time we get so overwhelmed because we're so in it, we're so doing it, we're so kind of worrying about everybody else's expectations and everything else that's going on, that we then kind of can't see the wood through the trees. And what the most important tool is to step away and to maybe rest, which people don't like to do. But actually, when you kind of go, it's a bit like that Excel spreadsheet kind of analogy. You know, when you're looking at all the sums on the Excel spreadsheet and you go, I can't find the formula, and you go out for a walk and you come back and go, oh my God, there it is. And you've probably spent an hour looking at this problem that's in front of you. It's actually when you're feeling that kind of almost like insanity point, you need to kind of go, right, I just need a breather, whether it's going downstairs and grabbing a coffee or taking the dog out for a walk, or actually just not looking at your phone to scroll through to give you a little bit of time off. That's not time off, because you're looking at other people's stuff. But actually going, right, stop a minute, what do I actually need to do now? What do I need to do by the end of today? And what can wait? Everyone thinks that everybody's, especially if you're client-based or service-based, we all think that everyone wants everything right now, which is the kind of world, that's what the world is becoming. Everyone wants everything straight away. You want to be messaged straight away. You want a response as soon as you ask for it. But actually, that's not the best way to be, because what happens is you then become this perpetuated kind of person that's going, I need to respond to everyone straight away and instantly, and then you give yourself even more overwhelmed because you're not setting their expectation, and then they're now thinking, oh, they're always available to me, so I can access their energy, or I can access who they are and stuff. And when you start to kind of create those boundaries, you're then able to find yourself a bit more calmer, because you've gone, well, I've told them I'm not available until 9:00 tomorrow, so they're not expecting anything. But if I respond, that's great, because I'm able to respond when I want to. Yeah. Whereas the weekend working and working all through the night and all of that type of stuff is only setting yourself up for low energy the next day, because you're not resting, or you're not stopping, or you're not stepping back. And then you feel this frustration of, I haven't seen the kids today, or I actually haven't been able to put them to bed because I've been at work, and all these meetings and networking that takes place. Sometimes you want the stuff that you're doing to grow your energy, so then you're positive all the time and kind of in a calm state. But then also when you're doing too much, you then get into this burnout, negative energy, and then you're frustrated with going. So no matter what it is, whether it's you're sitting in front of the desk and you can't seem to see the wood through the trees, or whether you've got too many meetings in and you're just not feeling the energy for it, sometimes you have to go, right, what do I have to take out of here? Or why am I feeling this way? And you're feeling that way because you've given yourself too much to do. And normally we give ourselves too much to do because we're desperate to please. We're people pleasers in general as humans. We want to people please, but actually if you're not pleasing yourself, you're not then able to please other people, because you're in frustration mode, or you're in kind of in a kind of bad state, because you're thinking, I've got to do all this stuff for all these people, and I'm just letting them all down. And you're not ever letting them down, because actually they probably have not as much of an expectation on you as you do on yourself. But actually being able to like step back and kind of go, I'm really sorry, I'm out this week because I'm on holiday, but I'll get back to you on Monday if anything's urgent. You give them a facility. Like you guys have got your kind of, with Fuzzy Logic, you've got kind of VAs and other people within the business that can take a little bit of weight, and then you're able to kind of give yourself space and time, which is brilliant about kind of delegation, which we'll go on to in a bit later. But I think to be able to feel calm, you have to step back, kind of look at it a little bit more unbiasedly. I don't know if that's even a word, but like I think one, are you looking at it? Yeah, 100%. We get stuck in how we think it should be, and our expectations of what we think we should be doing is not necessarily the same as what the person on the other end is expecting. And if their expectations are higher or even more than what you are willing to give, maybe they're not the right client for you. And we've all been there, haven't we, where we've had clients and you're working your nuts off and nothing is ever good enough, and then you actually realize they're not the client that you want anyway. They're probably not paying you enough for a starter, and they're probably not actually giving you the vibes that you want to work with them anyway. So you're not being your best self, because you're working with someone that's not giving you the vibe to be your best self either. So there's kind of loads of ways, but I think it's just really stepping back. Something that's free, step back, give yourself 5 minutes, just reprioritize and be realistically, can you do all that stuff in that time? And then you'll be able to go back in again.
It does resonate, because I used to give myself such a hard time if I hadn't got to the end of my to-do list by the end of the day, and I'd sit up and work late, and then the next morning I'd be too tired, I'd snooze my alarm and I'd get in late, and I'd be like, oh, I've already failed the day because I didn't get up on time, and now I'm behind. But now if I haven't got to the end of my to-do list, I'm like, oh, okay, I know I'm not now going to be productive for the rest of the day, so I'll just finish for the day, and then I'll just get up a little bit early the next day. And that's been working so much better than just kind of punishing myself, going, oh, you're going to work late now because you didn't get it done. When I know actually late of an evening, that's not when I'm most productive, and that's not when I'm most creative. Actually, it's the morning, so it can wait, and the world's not going to shatter. And most of the time, it's deadlines you set for yourself. It's not actual client deadlines, because most of the time we're working ahead of that client deadline anyway. So it's the little schedule you make for yourself. And like you say, if you don't step back, you just beat yourself up because you can't do it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's the thing. I think I've been kind of that person where I've been available to my boss at 1 a.m. and done reports for 6 a.m. the next morning. That you want to be loyal as a person, because you want people to rely on you and all of this kind of stuff that makes you feel good. But actually you create your own self-fulfilling prophecy by doing that, because then you're always available. And why are you not available now when I want you? When actually, if I'd set the boundaries of, okay, I am available until this point, but actually after that point I switch off, because switching off is really important to rest and recuperate and be your best self.
Hey Hev, have you heard of IT Managed Services? They're an IT support service based in Kent.
Yeah, I've been with them for over a year now. I love being able to just call them at any point and they take over my computer and fix the issue so much quicker than spending hours on Google.
Why have you kept that to yourself all this time? Right, I need to sign up to these guys. What's their website?
It's it-ms.co.uk, or you can call 01634 218 362.
I probably wouldn't have had the burnout that I had, and then had the resentment of leaving that company. And well, it's obviously, it all happens as it should, because I'm now doing what I love. But at the time I was thinking nothing is ever good enough, and you end up sitting in that wheel of expectation and kind of nothing is ever good enough, and then you're beating yourself up, and self-sabotage arrives, and suddenly self-esteem's disappeared and you're not your normal self.
It's like constantly feeling like you're like, you know, when you're like a duck that's treading water, like you look calm on the surface, but actually underneath you're like, oh my god, I don't want to drown.
This? Yeah, and what I've kind of coming on the other side of the fence of being self-employed from employed is I very kind of vividly remember not being present at the places that I was going to. Like, I'd be going out for meals and I'd be thinking about what I had to do for work the next day, or my boss has messaged me and what am I going to do, and all of that stuff. And I had even people, once I then evolved, saying to me, oh, you seem so much more present now. And I think to myself, I'm mortified that I was like that. Yeah. But at the time I didn't see it.
I had that, like my nephew said to me, well, Auntie Hev, you're always working. And I was like, oh my God, like, yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting there with it, trying to like play cards with them. And I'm like, 1 minute, because I'm sitting there doing like an email and I'm like, oh, this is just not what life's about. Like you don't start a business to create another job for yourself. You start a business to have more.
It does obviously take a lot of time to build up a business to that point.
Yeah.
And that's the most unfortunate thing is, you know, 2 years probably on average it does take like a real hard graft. So sometimes you have to look past that and be like, well, I'm doing it for the best.
But also I kind of disagree on this, because I had that mindset. But I think you build the business that you want from the start, and it might take you longer to get there. But I'm now having to undo a lot of bad habits. Yeah. But because I was of the opinion like, no, we're going to work flat out for 2 years to build what I want, and I have, and it's gone above that. But at what cost to my health and all and now I'm having to like backtrack and actually probably make more work for myself, going back and undoing bad habits and setting boundaries.
I think that's the reason why the question how to stay calm is so layered. Is that it's not just let's just have a breathing exercise, because that is just a short-term fix. It's just like saying let's go to the pub and have a drink. It's just a short-term fix. I think it's being aware that it is so layered. You have to get those precedents in place. You have to have those systems in place, and those sort of things don't happen overnight.
No.
But it's being aware of, right, why am I in this state where I feel like I do need to get calm again?
Yeah.
And then how do I prevent that from happening again? Yeah. Rather than going, oh, it'll be fine because next time I'll just do the same breathing exercises.
Yeah. And I think like with anything, when you start investing in yourself, it does become more layered. So you start to kind of go, oh, I'm just going to take a 5 minutes. I'm going to reprioritize my to-do list. But then in the next thing, you'll start to put another layer in. Oh, I'm actually going to go for a walk, or I'm going to do a gym session or whatever it is that's going to get my endorphins working. And then you kind of go, actually, I've realized when I do that and this, that now actually makes me feel better. Oh, actually, when I have a boundary of this, that then makes it even better. So you start to build, as you invest in yourself, you start to build your layers of competency of self-development to a degree, and what you invest yourself in, and you invest in people and your environment and all of that type of stuff. And I think once you start to build that momentum, you start to see the wood through the trees and you start to create those habits. So like you say, it's great for us to hopefully give these young entrepreneurs and these new businesses a kind of start as they mean to go on approach, instead of get to burnout and then we'll give you the tips kind of thing, because that's just awful, and we've all been there and done it and got the t-shirt. So our job is to share the load of this is what we do now, which actually helped us get out of that stage, if that makes sense. But I think one of the things, business is so important. It's so hard when you're growing, and it feels frustrating when it's not going the way you want it to. And when people go, Just have a weekend off or just rest. It's kind of, you feel that kind of go, what do you mean just rest? I've got all this kind of dreams and success that wants to come and all of that type of stuff. But actually, if you're not looking after yourself, you're not then looking after the business in the long term. So sometimes you do have to say to yourself, do you know, like you said, I'm not going to get it done today, and that's all right.
Yeah.
But what you don't want to do is go, I'm not going to get it done today and then I'm not going to bother for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
But you just have to kind of sometimes go, I'm just going to write it off today. It's not going anywhere. I'm going to do it. I'm going to reprioritize it and do it tomorrow. And then you'll feel better.
This analogy works, but what this all reminds me of is when I was a teenager, just got my driving lesson, got my driving test, but I wasn't earning a great amount of money.
Yeah.
So every time you'd go to the petrol station when you needed petrol, you'd stick like a tenner in it.
Yeah.
And then within about a couple of days,
you're back
there again. And you think, if I'd have just stuck in like a full tank of petrol, I'd have lasted a lot longer. Yes, I'm there a little bit longer. And yes, I've had to work a little bit longer to get to that point.
Yeah.
But I've rested. The car's now in this energy mode.
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
can last a lot longer. Rather than those little stints of like constantly every single day being on burnout.
Yeah.
It's right, nice and refreshed. That's just my analogy of it.
Yeah, it's a great analogy as well. And it's the same thing from a kind of physical health perspective, isn't it? It's like whatever you put in, if you're putting bad petrol in, then you're going to have a bad ride, right? And if you're going to put good petrol in, then you're going to drive faster and all of that type of stuff. But it's true. And I think sometimes we rush by setting expectations of other people's success instead of looking at what our success looks like or what we want our life to be. And sometimes it does take a bit longer, but actually if it's sustained, how many people do we know that, or maybe not know, but we've seen on social media where they've rocketed to success and then they don't know how they've got there. They've got no growth plan, and then suddenly it all drops apart because they've done a TikTok shop and suddenly they're selling something great, but then go, oh, I've gone viral, and then it all falls apart because they've not like consistently built that kind of momentum of their business and the momentum of themselves. So while you're looking after yourself, you're looking after your business and vice versa. Yeah. And then you flourish and it feels easy. You two make it look easy.
Something I said to someone actually the other day, they had lost a couple of clients and they were like panicking a little bit, and they were just talking to me, and I said actually enjoy the quiet period. That if I could go back, I would have enjoyed the time I had when I had less work.
Yeah.
Because actually, I probably won't get that time again, not for a good few years now anyway, where I could have just kind of swanned around and done a little bit of my own thing or done a bit more hobbies during the day when people are normally working. Because I thought that being busy was being successful, and actually I was filling myself with productive stuff, but I would have got to the same destination if I'd have just gone and did that Pilates class in the middle of the day when I could. And now I don't have the privilege of doing that. It probably won't be for a little while now where I kind of...
I love that was your go-to.
Yeah.
Just that Pilates days on a Tuesday. If only.
If only is the goal.
But it's that pause, isn't it? It's that pause. I think some people are scared of pausing. Even in a conversation, we fill it with an or another question. It's like when you pause, stuff comes to the surface that you didn't realise you had to deal with, or things that you want to put in place, or even ideas. Like how many times do they say, oh, your ideas come in the shower, or when you're out for a walk, or when you're in the gym, you're doing something, because you're pausing and the brain starts to become creative. And especially for you guys, you're creative people for what you do. Sometimes you definitely have to pause because you're like, I can't build creativity if it's all blocked up with busyness and frustration.
Oh, 100%. I agree with you there.
For sure.
And one thing that I've definitely learned over the last good few years as well, talking about the layers of how to stay calm. And it's also to do with just growing your business, is hanging around with the right people.
100%.
A lot of people stick with their childhood friends where you both have probably very heavily evolved, but because you have this like loyalty, you're letting yourself sort of like, I'm sure probably everyone can relate to this with someone, where they're really sucking energy away from you. They're being those
That's what I call energy vampire.
Energy vampire. I call them hoovers. And then instead of giving you that battery, and it should work both ways. And that can impact business. It can impact your mindset, and it can impact just
without a
staying
doubt.
calm.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think that's one of the beautiful things that you've built with Rookie CEO is like you've got a vibe of people that are coming for the vibe. Yes, they collaborate. Yes, they work together at some point, hopefully, but they come because it feels good.
Yeah.
There's no expectation. There's no kind of like scariness. You come in, you feel welcomed, and you're around people that are vibing positively, right? So when you have that, you attract. It's like the vibe attracts your tribe and all of that jazz. It is true, because then you start building your layers of. They're not even colleagues, but they're collaborative friends or whatever you want to call
connections,
them.
I guess.
Yeah, and they're the ones that are cheering you on. They're the ones that are giving you the advice. They're the ones that are sharing how they've got there and all the things that they're going through, the frustrations that they're feeling. And when you have a collective of people that get you, you rocket up higher, quicker, because you've got people believing in you as well. You've got to believe in yourself, but other people around you help boost you when you're feeling that little bit, I'm not sure if I can do this.
You know, I had that in a physical aspect when I've just done that 50k hike for the Heart of Ken Hospice. Yeah. I did it with thank you. Did it with
you just sneak that into
I did it with Jeremy and
you
Leanne.
Can still donate.
Me and Leanne were kind of worried about, we need to make sure our headphones are charged up. Oh God, what if our headphones die? I was like, I'm going to take 2 power banks in case my headphones die, charge them back up. We didn't. Like, these are people that I've just met through networking. Yeah. We were walking for 12 and a half hours. We did not put our headphones in once because we just genuinely were just chatting about life, and a lot of it, Jeremy was just motivating me and Leanne to keep moving. It was just like, I genuinely thought I'd be, that whole time I'd be
in
sat
the zone.
just listening to the music, but I wasn't. I was just genuinely having conversations because they just got it. Like, we were in that together. We were all running businesses, so like it was just a really nice, like, it's the people that you would never have been friends with in any other circumstance that you just create these connections with.
And it is one thing to remember is when you do start a business, your friends and family, as much as they want you to do well, won't always be the biggest supporters for you. The biggest supporters are the ones that you build within your connection group.
Yeah.
And I kind of learned that pretty quickly as well. It's like they are interested in what you do, but they're not going to be your clients, and they're not going to be necessarily the people that are going to be like, you need to do this and you need to do that, and I know what you're going on about, because they're not in that position normally. You're almost the maverick starting the business. Oh, I thought we all just conformed and stayed in line, and now you're like, oh no, I want to do this, and they kind of go, oh, I'm not sure how I feel about that. So sometimes when you are new to business or new ideas are creeping up, you need that environment of people going, yeah, just go for it, as well as the safety nets.
We're going to end the episode there. Thank you so much for joining us, Jenny.
That's all right.
And thank you everyone for listening, and join us again next week for another episode of The Rookie CEO.
Lovely, thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.